It may well be that humanity urgently requires the Ice Age challenge that now stands before us, to awake the world from its current rut before the sleep of reason causes humanity to become extinct by the nuclear war that the world's leaders of empire have been building weapons for more than 50 years already. It would only take an hour and a half of thermonuclear war to create the conditions that causes the extinction of humanity and most forms of life with it. We need to raise the value of our humanity sufficiently high to take the steps required to cleanse the human landscape of the terror of nuclear war and everything that is linked to it. This is a spiritual task more than a political task. The correlation of cosmic ray flux with solar activity indicates that the advance of civilization is a spiritual task. This alone should inspire us to pursue spiritual development as the highest priority of modern time, in order to become sufficiently spiritually minded to protect ourselves. We wield weapons, not out of strength. We wield weapons out of weakness. We wield them because of our inability to face one another as human beings. Let's hope that the Ice Age challenge will awake us enough to consider what human living is all about, before we throw it away without ever having really lived. We face a choice, therefore. The choice is between the system of empire, for which wars are fought, and the platform for freedom on which human culture and human development depends. So far, humanity stands impotent and tied to the ground. It stands latched to the system of empire, where it hails the weapons and throws away its humanity, as if it was already dead, unable to choose life and to choose it more abundantly. In many respects, humanity still lives in the Roman age, reflecting the grand fascist arena of monetarism, married to terror, inhumanity, and depopulation. Large segments of humanity are presently being killed under the Roman banner and brutally starved, torn, and despised, while much of the world looks on silently, betting on the indexes for politics and profits. While we no longer burn people alive by the dozen, as in the grand arenas long ago, we simply starve them to death at a rate of 300,000 a day by burning their food in automobiles in the form of biofuels. We need the Ice Age challenge as a new paradigm for living, in order that we may heal us of the tragedies that we have already allowed to come upon us. If we fail to become human above everything else, above politics, economics, religion, status, and sex, we fail to see ourselves as a single humanity, honoring one another in love. We find ourselves unfit to meet the Ice Age challenge, which technologically is not a great challenge to meet. However, if we fail the Ice Age challenge, as we have failed in the past by not preventing the great wars, destruction, and looting carried out in the name of empires, then the coming Ice Age will bury us, with few exceptions. Perhaps then, in 1,000 generations or 1,000,000 years, A new humanity will rise again and will not fail those challenges that we presently have no intention to even address. The universe won't be cheated by us failing ourselves. Only we lose by this failing. But why should we fail? We only need to rekindle the flame in the heart that rekindles our humanity and our human productive and creative power, and the beauty of our human soul and its scientific honesty. The world has become a desert landscape in all of these areas. We need to begin to turn the desert into an oasis across the world. The fading little flame of today needs to be nourished to become a great fire in civilization. Surely we can do this. When we get to this point, not even the sky will be a limit for us, much less the condition that we find on the earth. But will we do this? Will we dare to step up onto the wings and fly? Will we trust ourselves for the great task? These remain still open questions. Evidently, the greatest danger before us is not the astrophysical one. This one we can deal with fairly easily and protect ourselves from the astrophysical changes. The greatest danger that we face then is that we will do nothing, that we won't respond to the astrophysical challenge before us and die of starvation by not having created the infrastructures for our food supply that enable us to live richly in a dimmer world. The danger is that we keep up the present course, that we continue debating global warming and man-made climate change, and that we continue to bow to the monetarism of empire till the sun turns off and goes into its sleep mode. We have been brainwashed to commit ourselves to the present tragic course by the choruses of the professional scoundrels that the masters of empire have bought with their money bags to keep the dreams of empire alive. Those who sing the empire song are people who have sold their soul for a song and have turned civilization into a desert of starvation already, before the big challenge even begins. That's what the global warming hoopla, the nuclear war terror, and depopulation are all about, standing against the future of humanity, aren't they? A similar type of brainwashing has also been applied to keep the internal fusion sun theory alive at all cost, as it serves the policies of empire well. It prevents economic development, energy development, and scientific development. Humanity is being kept tight into knots by debating the internal fusion sun theory, because the outcome of the brainwashing promises to facilitate the cherished objectives of empire, which is to eliminate 6 billion people from the face of the planet, from the present 7 billion to about 1 billion. That's the officially stated policy for depopulation. Would you like to be depopulated? Would you like to see your children become depopulated? This is what will happen if the Ice Age challenge is denied. If your answer is yes to the depopulation question, Then sit back and do nothing, as you may do together with most of humanity, and you will have what you wish for. There is today little evidence on the horizon for a breakout from society's commitment to the small-minded thinking that has been imposed on it, such as the context of the global warming scam and the internal fusion sun. The train of the internal fusion sun continues on track, even while the evidence is monumental that the sun is an electrically powered star. However, behind the scene of denial of the evidence that we see, a denial that is political and artificial in nature, stands the humanity that we are, a highly intelligent species that will always remain what is fundamentally true, which tends to assert itself in times of deep crisis. The intelligence of humanity will make its claim, slowly as this may unfold, and stand for truth, and will thereby prevent the greatest catastrophe of all times from occurring, which would result with certainty if the astrophysical processes that evidently loom before us would remain too long ignored and not be responded to. It is inherent in the design of humanity that the leading-edge thinkers will break through the fog of political games and open their eyes to the mountains of bodies of evidence that astrophysical processes have a powerful impact on Earth. It is inherent in the intelligence that we embody and reflect as humanity that the most alert scientists and truth seekers do see the phase change before they happen by understanding the processes involved, and that they will inspire society to move with the requirements of the future that can be shaped with intelligent actions. Scientific progress remains the hallmark, even if the options are at times obscured and the paths seem tied into knots. Enormous scientific efforts have been made and continue to be made to push forward our understanding of the universe and its operation, and of ourselves in the unfolding process. The more we move forward with our exploration on this front, the more will a great renaissance take shape before us, with unlimited energy resources that give us access to unlimited building materials and food supplies, all with the kind of density that enables us to respond to the challenging solar system, which then can no longer endanger our civilization nor hinder its advances. In fact, these potentials stand before us right now, to be realized now, and to be developed fully before the sun reverts to its inactive state, as it did during the previous ice ages. In the previous ice ages, the great potential that we have today to create a new world did not exist then, but it does exist now. As an intelligent species, the most advanced that ever existed on Earth, we will not squander this potential. Maybe this is what the universe recognized and has put to our credit. Humanity has proven its worth before the Little Ice Age began. During the Little Ice Age, for the first time ever, a process was set in motion to create a society without empire on the distant shores of America. The Pilgrims' determination for the first time in history to raise the finger to empire eventually resulted in the founding of the USA as the first sovereign nation state on the planet. The city on a hill that the eyes of the world were indeed fixed upon. The remarkable achievement that had begun, which was a radical new development in civilization for a people to collectively take a stand against the system of empire, would likely have been lost together with much of humanity if the Little Ice Age had progressed to become the Big Ice Age. But this train to extinction was blocked with a major dense god pulse that ended the Little Ice Age and extended the interglacial period by a few more hundred years from the 1700s on. The extension of the interglacial was extremely critical for the development of civilization. It set the stage for the greatest economic and scientific development that the world has ever seen, even though much of it was squandered away in recent years. The 200-year period of warm climates after the Little Ice Age, which was by its timing evidently a major dense god pulse, gave us the population increase that is required as an economic base for carrying out the redevelopment of the world in preparation for the coming Ice Age period, when the sun goes on and off for typically 90,000 years. Was this ideal coincidence accidental? Was it a gift from heaven to save the world? Or was it earned by humanity? While the war against empire has not yet been won, the challenge of having to prepare the world for the environment of the dimming sun will bring back to light the great achievements of the past and thereby swing the balance from empire and its wars and its money to freedom, to the fulfillment of the common aims of mankind. This trend away from empire towards the freedom of humanity started in the 1620s with the Pilgrims that settled in Massachusetts, who came there to set up a new world on the American shores far from empire. The Peace of Westphalia that occurred later in 1648 to end the 30 Years' War also started a movement in the same direction in Europe, which still stands to some degree as the foundation for modern civilization. On this same type of path, as the power of society's self-directed spiritual development is stepped up far above the default train, the threat of nuclear war will vanish and become forgotten history as though it never existed, together with all the ugly garments that empire still parades, its monetarism, terrorism, fascism, greed, slavery, genocide, poverty, hatred, lies, and so on and on. The requirement to meet the human need in the grandest style possible and with the grandest freedom unfolding from it has been the basic dream and hope in every religion that ever was, which is a dream that has so far never been fully realized, but might be realized at last as we step forward in our self-directing progression from religion to the scientific realization of the grand humanity that is inherent in us all, in which we are one. The astrophysical challenge of the dimming sun puts a new type of challenge before us that inspires new paradigms, since the old paradigms no longer apply. This is something to celebrate. It inspires us to reclaim our humanity, raise it up anew, explore it in new novels, new poetry, and new songs, on the road of our intentional development of our unlimited potentials. This makes our future bright, in spite of the dimming sun, or because of it, for the challenge it imposes. Harvest is seed time. Seeds wind-blown, carriers of a secret still unknown. Poems in the words of nature, sentinels of an intelligence yet unseen. Prophets of the enduring, apostles in an endless landscape. Discovering love. Poems in the words of nature, sentinels of an intelligence yet unseen. The melody of nature, what a song! Whispers of a splendor grander than the heavens. Like seeds are we whisper too, seeds bearing gifts for the world, gifts wrapped up in sunshine. Gems are we, unfolding a majestic song. Blue Mountain, whispers of a splendor grander than the heavens. Like seeds are we whisper too, seeds bearing gifts for the world. Listen to the song, listen to the heart, listen to the silence where strands of love unfold. Listen to the symphony of our humanity. In this symphony we are one, one with the universe itself. Flight without limits. Listen to the song, listen to the heart, listen to the silence where strands of love unfold. Brighter than the sun, listen to the symphony of our humanity. In this symphony we are one, one with the universe itself.